Bro, excuses comes in the most subtle way possible. And for a long time, I can feel them, but I just can't pinpoint them. You know what I'm saying? Every single time when I'm about to quit something, I tend to have this tendency of doing some random shit, of taking some random ass action that somehow brought me down to a point where made me feel like it's not that bad to quit whatever I set my mind onto. And that is the scariest part, bro. The scariest part is the excuses become so real and it makes so much sense that we thought that it was okay. And for most of my life, that's how I lived. And to be honest with you, it's not a relief. I thought it was a relief. I thought distraction was necessarily. If I'm distracted enough, if I go outside enough and do some random shit, if I eat enough junk food or watch enough TV shows, somehow I can make up a new stories of the perfect world that next time I could follow. But this never happens. It's almost as if I'm living in fucking pain, right? Almost as if I built my personality around pain and excuses. And that gets me where I am today. I could sit here convincing myself that nothing's my fault. It's just the circumstances. It's just the people around me. It's just that I never had enough help. It's just that I wasn't smart enough to take action, whatever. But the thing is, if we are really honest with ourselves, if I'm really honest with myself, the reason why I feel like I've never been the person who achieved my goals yet wasn't those excuses, bro. Though sometimes it feels so real that I think I'll always have enough time to do it later. I think when there's a perfect time for those goals, I'll do it. And what ended up happening is I numbed myself to everything for years. I even stayed busy at my work, working 10 to 12 hours a day at a mechanical job because I was convincing myself that, oh, if I'm staying busy, that means I'm moving forward. Sure, I gained some money. Sure, I had enough money to travel. Sure, I have enough money to eat more junk food. But damn, my life never seems to change. My life never seems to go anywhere. So where the fuck did I went wrong? What the fuck is actually happening? Why is it that every time I distract myself, there's always that little voice behind my head telling me that, yo, you haven't lived up to your potential. You haven't set out to follow your goal, your dreams, the outcome that you want, the confidence, the six-pack that you want, the way that you're good with people, the way that you feel like you're finally capable and that you finally feel like you're worth it of being someone who's reliable and capable. Why is that feeling never freaking came? Why can't I look at my dad in the eyes and say, yo, I know my dad's proud of me? And I have to be completely honest with you. I've never been the person to convince myself that my dad would be proud of me, and my best friend would be proud of me, that the people around me would be proud of me. I always play in fear. I always believe that, yo, if I set out to achieve these goals, if I set out to follow my dream, people are going to mock me. My parents over here are going to pull me down. Guess what? Because they believe in the 9-to-5 life. They believe in the life which is secure. And I was never the person to believe in that life because I never felt any free in those lives. And if you feel free living that life is a good thing, so be it. You know what I'm saying? But there are people out there. There are people like us out there that was just seems like we were never really content with the results and with the person that we are in life. However, we only been okay, or at least we only been distracting ourselves, convincing ourselves to believe that, yo, we don't have to live up to that voice in our head. We can just ignore it. We're doing something. We're staying busy, right? So everything should be okay. Everything should be fine. But guess what, bro? 4 years at a mechanical job. 2 years before that, 2 years at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donut job. 1 or 2 years before that as an assistant. 1 or 2 years before that as someone who works at a Amazon manufacturer, bro. So I've been on a 9-to-5 for, I don't even know how long, bro. I don't even know how long. And I always feel like a fucking failure, bro. And that's the craziest thing, right? I listen to people. I listen to people's opinion. I listen to what people thinks of me. I I stay hiding. I look down when people look at me in the eye. Because I know for a long time I haven't lived up to my own dream, my own goal. There's something in me that was still full of shit. I know there's something in me that feels like I'm a defect. And so I never want to look at it. And so I want to be like everyone else, because if I be like everyone else, maybe I don't have to face that voice. Maybe I don't have to face that insecurity that I have. But this is not the way to go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this got me stuck for years. I felt like nothing I've done up until that point with my 9 to 5 has got me anywhere but the little penny that I save, paying bills every single month, listening to the same bullshit story that people made up around my work, as if I wanted to listen to those stories in the first place, as if I like listening to what those people talk in the first place, because I realized, nothing they talk about ever helps me in my life before, except for how to pay more bills, except for how to get myself more in debt. Isn't that the craziest thing, bro? Look, I don't really know where the fuck I'm going with this video, but I just want to voice this out because I feel like there are people like us out there that just wants better. And for a long time, I've been living in fear, so I never took that step. And hopefully this video can provide you some comfort, as none of the people around me like to talk about these things anyway. There's something that we have to do about this problem. You know what I'm saying? We can't live in the shadow forever and telling ourselves that's okay. We can't make ourselves small because we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be mocked. That life never brought me any joy, bro. And if you feel the same way too, if you feel like you've been living under some wall, if you feel like you've been living under some, you know what I'm saying, social conditioning or fear too, bro, let me know you're out there, bro. Comment down a word, and I'll see you in the next one.